Good morning, students. Myself Abhishek Sharma from Mount Litra Z School Jhansi. Students, we are continuing with our second chapter in statistics of class 11th, and today we are going to discuss on indirect oral investigation, its suitability, its merits and demerits. So let's begin with what is indirect oral investigation. Indirect oral investigation is the method by which information is obtained not from the persons regarding whom the information is needed. It is collected orally from other person who are expected to possess the necessary information. These other persons are known as witnesses. For example, by this method, the data on the economic condition of the worker may be collected from their employers rather than the workers themselves. Now, what are the suitability in this method? The field of investigation is relatively too large. Second, it is not possible to have direct contact with the concerned respondent. Third, the concerned respondent are not capable of giving information because of their ignorance or illiteracy, whatever might be the reason. Investigation is so complex in nature that only expert can give information. So this method is mostly used by the government or non-government committees or commissions. Now, what are the merits of this method? Wide coverage. This method can be applied even when the field of investigation is very wide. Less expensive. This is a relatively less expensive method as compared to other personal investigation. Expert opinion. Using this method, an investigator can seek opinion of the expert and thereby can make this information more reliable. Free from bias. This method is relatively free from the personal bias of the investigator. And simplicity. This is relatively a simple approach of data collection. Now, what are the demerits of indirect oral investigations? Less accurate. The data collected by this method are relatively less accurate. This is because the information is obtained from the person other than the concerned respondent. Bias. There is a possibility of personal bias of the witness giving information. Doubtful conclusion. This method may lead to a doubtful conclusion due to the carelessness of the witness. Now, what is the difference between direct and indirect investigations? In the case of direct personal investigation, the investigator establishes a direct contact, but in this, indirect contact is established. Direct personal investigation is generally possible when the field of investigation is small. On the other hand, indirect oral investigation is preferred when the field is relatively too large. In the direct personal investigation, the investigator can be well versed in the language and culture habits of the respondent. There is no such requirement in the case of indirect oral investigation. You are not supposed to be expert in the language and the cultural habits of the respondent. If it is, then it will be more okay, and if it not, there is no problem or no issues related to it. Last is direct investigation is relatively costlier than the indirect investigation. If we go for a direct investigation, it is a costly affair, but if we go for an indirect oral investigation, it is quite economical. So, last I want to conclude that in indirect oral investigation is the method by which information is obtained not from the person regarding whom the information is needed. It is collected orally from the other person who are expected to possess the necessary information, and these other person who possess these necessary information are known as witnesses. For example, by this method, the data on the economic condition of the workers may be collected from the employers rather than the workers. So, in indirect oral investigation is possible when the field of investigation is large or big. And when is it not possible to have a direct contact with the concerned respondent? So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.